And good afternoon. It is Thursday, December 18th, and here we are back for a conversation. They changed this entire setup behind the scenes around since the last time we've been here. So now I'm trying to figure out how to shut this banner off. And it is the off button now, if anybody was wondering, here on StreamYard, 1:30. And I want to welcome Frank Prosnitz. Frank, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing okay. And Superintendent Colleen Bernstein joins us. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Getting ready for the
on
holidays.
time. Oh, wait.
We are here on time. So to give everybody a little background, because I've got some emails asking, last month was my fault that we could not meet. Just had a lot going on, had some technical stuff going on. So we pushed it off to this month, and then we moved it from yesterday to today. So we made it work despite all the holidays and craziness that is happening. And you two don't even know it yet, but we're going to have to move January because I have to travel to a conference in Texas on the date we're supposed to meet next month, but we'll figure it out once we get there. So that's a whole new year. We'll focus on that next year.
It's ages away.
That's it.
That's right.
And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Frank, and everybody who celebrates.
You guys?
Yeah. And there's lots to talk to. And so what I'm going to do is get out of the way and let you two get at it.
Okay, thank you, Ryan.
I'm going to start off in a little different direction because when I read through your update, I was struck by this activity that's coming up on the 24th, on January 24th. Actually, looking upwards, SIB shop at Pell.
Yes.
That was pretty compelling to me in dealing with kids with disabilities. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we have a great partnership with Looking Upwards, and Caroline and Bowen have been great partners throughout the community. And what they'd like to do is they'd like to have something for families with siblings or children with disabilities, so that families can get together, siblings can get together. So we've opened up Pell Elementary School to them so that they can get together and have some activities and just time together as families, and talk about the community, talk about how they all deal with their children and what kind of services are available to them. So we thought this was a great partnership, a great opportunity. So we actually had one tentatively set up for, I believe it was the beginning in mid-November, but so many activities were going on that they asked if they could delay to January. So we're putting it on at Pell at January, and we're happy about it. We're looking forward to a regular event for the families so that everyone can get together.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and hopefully it's successful. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff revolving around safety. Brown University, of course. MIT, of course. We've had 4 schools involved with incidents over the football season: Smithfield, Newport, of course, West Warwick, Coventry. Their football game was suspended. What's going on?
That's a good question, Frank. I think we have a lot to learn about children today. Every day we have a lot to learn about them, but I think for a lot of us, I'll speak to myself as a person that did not grow up with social media or did not grow up with some of, I'll say, the exposure that children have had to different types of media, to having experienced something such as COVID, the different challenges, I'll just say, that families have today. We have a lot to learn on what our expectations are of each other as adults and as of those adults that look over children, and what our children, as they grow older and enter their teen years, what are the expectations for them? I don't want to get into it too much because there is an ongoing investigation going on, which I'm very happy that Chair Jim Dring and the committee took a very strong stand on this as well. And they want to get a full investigation and have a third party come in. And I think from there we'll learn more. I know Mike Lunny over at the Interscholastic League is working together with the team over there to have some future workshops and discussions with all our ADs and our school districts regarding athletic, not just, it is the athletics that was involved, but it's really all teenagers. But, it extends further beyond that, because if you look at just what's happened recently in the past few years, we've had to worry about spectator behavior and how people behave when they attend our school functions and our competitions. And it's a little disheartening when you see people of a certain age having to tell them to, you have to mind your P's and Q's, I'll call it, or mind, how you're behaving. You're in a public school. We expect certain behaviors, but people get wrapped up in the moment. They get wrapped up in that sports team. They get wrapped up in whatever's going on. And then in the private moments when teammates and others are together, I think we need to look at what's going on there and what, as peers, what are our expectations with each other. But again, we are in the middle of an investigation. I don't want to delve too much into it. I do, and I think it is an important topic we should discuss further going forward, because this is a team effort. This isn't just what's happening in the schools, what's happening outside the schools as well. So it all comes together. And as adults, we need to be there for our children. What's that?
I have a crazy observation.
Okay.
The Rhode Island Department of Education puts a tremendous amount of emphasis on standardized testing, on the SATs, and yet I'll be brutally honest. When I saw the Commissioner of Education's response to the Smithfield incident, I was very disappointed that it wasn't more forceful, and that it was something basically that said, there's something amiss. It surely was something amiss. Is RIDE, and while I think it's important with standardized testing, but has RIDE failed to emphasize the importance of maintaining a certain culture and safety within the schools? And I'm not talking physically, because we all did that when we built these buildings, but you create a culture. Has RIDE addressed that at all in any of its training or any of its missives out to people?
I do think RIDE has tried very hard as far as social emotional training, as far as social emotional programs. I know there's a Yale program, it's called Rules, that they've offered to districts. I know with our nurses, I know with Director Andrade that oversees our children's services, student services. There have been many and multiple opportunities. I don't know if, there's one focused energy towards this. I do know that Newport is involved in a grant to help with the social emotional needs. We have some professional development going on at our middle school level that's working on classroom management, that's working. And I'm not saying the teachers don't know, all teachers, could use help, myself included, when you're dealing with teenagers. But I think the other thing about it is, because of COVID, because of some of the social emotional needs we're seeing of children, there has been an emphasis in some way, shape, or form for some districts. I don't know if all districts are eligible for it. I know Newport's been fortunate. We do have a grant. We have had some training. Do we need more training? Yes, we do. But I think all districts do. And you don't want to, people, I think, feel it's a, leaning on or copping out, falling back on, COVID. Yes, we have to deal with COVID, but at the same time, too, we can't dismiss it. We can't say it never happened, because it did. And there's still some lingering effects from that. And we've got some good lessons learned, some poor lessons learned. So I don't know if that's making any sense, but they have had some. Could they do more? I think all of us could do more.
When there's training for school committees, do they train school committees on how they should deal with situations that come before them?
That would be a question more for that would be a question more for my school committee and chair or Tim Duffy from the School Committees Association. But I do know they offer professional development and training, especially for newly elected school committee members to take training to understand their roles and responsibilities, because sometimes some get a little confused on what they're able to oversee and change and what is out of their purview. But it's not mandatory. I will say that it's not mandatory. So you can have a committee that's elected and no one goes to the training. It's something that, the members themselves, each and every one of them, has to make that determination of whether or not they're going to participate in that professional development.
Not delving into the investigation or whatever goes on relative to the Newport incident, have you implemented any kind of specific training or sessions with the kids in school to try? And you mentioned social media, which I think is a huge contributor to these things. But what have you done, and what's the vibe that you get from the kids?
We had meetings. We had meetings before we broke for the Thanksgiving break. We've also had meetings with the whole group, the principal, the AD, the dean. Everyone has had meetings with the students. We've had individual small gatherings with students. And we're monitoring children very carefully as far as, having counseling available, having we have our social worker, we have others available. We have, if you have not seen, we have an open letter. The chair sent an open letter about the incident itself. Now I'm switching over to the incident. And anyone that has any information or wants to contribute anything, we've asked for them to please contact either Becky Boland or our investigator, and that's in our letter. So we have, and we will continue to provide supports. And we have had follow-up meetings, and we are doing specifically our AD with the coaches and whatnot is having specific conversations. So we're doing that, and at the same time trying not to get not influence. That's the wrong word. Being aware there's an investigation going on, so we have to allow the investigator to do his job so that he can come back as well and share with us his findings and possibly next steps for us.
To generalize a question that we got, and I'm probably missing parts of it. There was somebody who asked whether or not the results of the investigation will be made public. Yes. And whether or not there's been a decision about maintaining the football program next year.
No decisions have been made, and the investigation will be made public, yes.
I want to switch to another major topic, and that involves you. You are leaving at the end of this year. Look at that smile. You're not the only one. Every year it seems that there are a handful of superintendents that move on, and it's my understanding that the average length of stay of a superintendent of schools is about 3.5 years. Pretty short. So my question to you first is, what do we know about the superintendent search?
The superintendent search, the committee has met. They are putting together an RFP. They will be putting out, I believe, something for a firm. I believe they're hiring someone to, help to lead and facilitate that search. That is a work in progress right now. So I would imagine, we'll get through the holidays, and then I would imagine around February, you'll start to see, February, March, you'll see a posting. It is already out there. So many are aware that Newport will be looking for a superintendent starting July 1, and we'll see what happens.
So far, I know area-wise, of course, we've had the resignation in Smithfield. We have your position. Right across the border in Connecticut and Stonington, Marianne Butler is leaving after 3.5 years. And I don't know if I know of anybody else yet, but I'm sure there will be more.
There will be a few more announcements, I think, that they'll be putting out in the near future. It's usually around this time of year. My contract just asked for some kind of decision or a notification in October, and that's why I announced then. But usually around this time of year, you'll start to see and hear of some possible reassignments or people seeking other places to work.
Right.
What are you
Raise your
doing,
hand
Ryan?
Not
What's
you guys-
doing?
like
Why
a
is
good
Ryan on the
student.
screen?
I was counting down
Oh.
until she is retired.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that. I'm not looking at that. I got too much to do.
I had to go back and look at your announcement to see when the final day was. Yeah, but
Yeah,
okay.
it's June 30. Yeah. It's time. We've got the new high school. A lot of great things are underway, and there's always time for new adventures. So I think, and I'm like I've said to everyone, I'm right around the block. So anyone need anything, I'm here.
You know what you're going to be doing come July?
Not specifically.
How long have you been in the position?
Oh, over 12 years, about 12 and a half years. I was appointed in August of 2013. But I didn't, my first day wasn't until January of 2014. January 4th, as a matter of fact. The former superintendent at 12:01 a.m. Sent me a text and said, "You're it." Tag, you're it. So I took
guess
over
you
that.
have one more budget in you.
Yeah, there's going to be another budget. Yes. Yep.
And I guess I've been told many times that it's always budget season, but I assume that work is underway for that one.
That work is underway. It's a challenging one. As you know, we are struggling this year with a projected. We don't have a deficit yet. We are in the black. Everything's fine. But if we keep going and looking at our expenditures, we're trying to slow that down a bit. We will have some challenges. We also have some possible good news on the other side with our building project and some other things we may be getting. This would be the time of year we would get some revenues in for energy saving, et cetera, for our new high school. So we're looking at that too. And if that's realized, we may have about $500,000 spare. So we're always looking to make sure we can keep the budget balanced as best as possible. With the shrinking enrollment, it is very challenging. And I know we did have, I think, an anomaly with kindergarten this year. As a matter of fact, I got to go back and look. This morning, I want to look at the kindergarten numbers again to see if they've held since we opened in September, because we did have a jump. We had to open 2 more classrooms than what we expected to have to open. So I have to look at that. We also have the grade 5 decision before the school committee next month, whether or not we'll keep the grade 4 there and try doing a PK through 5 at Pell Elementary School, and then having Thompson be 6 through 8. So that's a big one. There'll be a lot of discussion on that one, and there's a lot of, I don't see there's a lot of middle in this one. You're either for it or you're against it, and it's kind of playing out the way I thought it would. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in January during that meeting.
Is the MLL situation all stabilized? All teachers in place? Anybody who needs certification getting certification?
Well, with the settlement, that really did change our plans around quite a bit. We presently do not have the preferred number of teachers with certification in front of children. And the settlement, we're hoping we can maybe get around and maybe have some teachers that have the certification use their strategies and skills and the certification to service the children and front of them that are ML. So that's a long way of me saying we're not meeting the hours we need to be meeting for our children. We also have, I believe it's until 2028, 29 to have the new regulations fully implemented. At the same time, though, you have children in front of you and you want to make sure as many people as possible that can support them are supporting them. So we still have, I'll just say, we're not on the same page as to maybe who should be providing what for our students when they have the certification.
So you mentioned that the student population is declining. Is the MLL population declining, or is that increasing?
No, that's remaining pretty constant. And as far as the number of children coming in, I have to look at the latest numbers. We still have, and more so, which is a good thing, more so at the early ages, so that if we can do the early intervention, the early supports, we can usually exit them out of ML support by fourth grade, hopefully, fifth grade at the latest. But right now, that population is remaining pretty steady.
Attendance? How are we doing with attendance?
We were doing pretty well until 2 weeks ago. And then I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, well, I do know what happened because I looked into it. We seem to have strain A flu going through the high school. And we had quite a few students. We were, averaging around in our population, we were averaging about maybe 60, 64 a day. And then the next week, it jumped up to 105. We're out on Monday. And I thought it was a mistake. And then I looked again, and we held pretty over 100 students that week. We got it down to, we've got like 20 more back, but it's still unusually high for this time of year. And for
I want to bring up a point on that. Yesterday, Brown University Health announced that if you go to any of their facilities, you have to wear a mask because viruses are spreading so much. I'm looking for the story. They moved the status to yellow, requiring masks at all facilities. Cites rising flu and respiratory virus rates as state data shows sharp increase in cases. And then I just got something from Rhode Island Department of Health, and it's a bunch of reminders to help prevent the spread of respiratory viruses this holiday season. And so if people take away anything from this, it's stuff is going around the schools, everywhere. Wash your hands, sing happy birthday, do all of those things that we learned during COVID.
That's right. There's a silver lining there. We did have some lessons there. I know for the drama team, the drama club, they had some of their people have to go out 2 days before the play went on. So their understudies got a lot of work this past weekend. And I know tonight we have our, Rogers Chorus and Band. That'll be tonight. We had an art show. We've been busy. We've had almost every night something's going on in schools, and the basketball, and the basketball season is underway, as well as track.
And wrestling. Any things that you were unaware of that have come up in the first few months of the new high school?
Okay, so the parking lots. I definitely think we're rethinking the parking lots. As far as we had, the student parking lot is still down by Old Fort, but the parent drop off and the bus loop, I think we're reimagining some of that where we're going to have children get on and get off. The Seaside Cafe is very popular. It's almost like it could have its own parking lot back here. It's getting more popular all the time. Our construction technology program is blossoming and booming more than it had in the past. And that is over on the Wickham Avenue side. So we've got a lot of projects coming out of there. Let's see. So yes, we're seeing some things. The heating over here at the HVAC. I don't know if you, Frank, if you did see my update. So we're actually tomorrow is our last day before the holiday break. And then on Monday, the campus shuts down. We'll have no electricity. I think it's electricity, sewage, and water over in the NACTAC building for the whole week. And then electricity will come back on over here in the new building, 3 hours. We have cutovers we have for sewage and for water and electricity. So that's going to be all week. We're working on some, just fine tuning some things as far as the doors in the buildings, the HVAC system. We're looking at the settings for the classrooms, those kind of things. The kilns, finally, we're getting that work done. We've had some stopgap measures to make sure the art program can keep continuing. And I have to say, Miss Lowe and Miss Wonderlander are doing an amazing job over here at Rogers, as all our art and music teachers are. So those kind of things are going on. I think drainage, as far as when it comes off the roof, those are kind of some things, learning a lot.
Superintendent, I have a, did you attend the Newport City Council, Middletown Town Council joint school merging regionalization meeting?
I did not attend, no.
What is your,
Okay. I purposely didn't attend.
What recap have you gotten from the meeting, or what's your understanding of what's next?
I heard a lot of positives where in January, they're going to come back, and I think they're going to have some specific next steps. I think my understanding is both committee and council walked away and had some, I'll say, tasks. And then my understanding also was they wanted to bring the school committees in together to see what some possible next steps they could do. My understanding is, I think people are starting to understand that it's going to be just a natural process. It's not just about the administration. What happens is it evolves. And then from there, you take a look at your student population. You look at the different schools you have in the system. You look at you speak to parents in the community. And as I've shared before, most of the time when a shift like that happens at the elementary level, you just, students can usually stay where they are, especially if parents prefer that. But you can also change it up as time goes on. Then your middle, our high schools already are fully integrated. Whether people know it or not, if you come to Rogers, you can go to Middletown. If you go to Middletown, you can go to Rogers. You take the CTE programming. And these days, most students, you're probably going to read more and more, most students that go from 8th to 9th grade are realizing the importance of the different programs they can participate in and take. Yeah, that's my 2 o'clock. And it's not the high school. I think the squishy part is going to be the middle school level, and those are the formative years. Those are the years, they develop physically and mentally, where brain capacity doesn't change that much during those years. It's still growing, but it's not at the same rate as the other levels. So it'll be interesting. I think people are starting to understand it's not you flip a switch and you're regionalized. It takes time. The interesting part about it is the people who are now in charge have to make a decision if they want to give up that being in charge, because now you're going to have to share the responsibilities of overseeing the education in a different way than you are now in your communities.
Mm-hmm. Any
exciting stuff, huh?
Any time frame for all of this, or is this just an ongoing process?
June 29th.
June 29th? Yeah, exactly.
I think they have
July 1st.
All right. I'm going to take over the show in a moment. Okay, stop.
And 3 seconds after Colleen walks out the door.
So they really want to have this on the ballot. When they have it on the ballot, I believe I read, I was not told, I read that no matter what, I heard they all agreed, sure, we can put it on the November ballot. They have to have it on the ballot. So as soon as the session opens, and that's the January timeline, January, February, they need to get some language together. They need to get something together so that, you know, if they're going to put something on the ballot. And then I believe the final vote for a ballot decision, if it's going to be in the fall, is August. If they want to do it sooner, they have to back that up. Again,
Of course, a better turnout in November than sometime in the summer, for sure.
I think so, but I think there's also this theory that a lot of your snowbirds are back.
Yeah.
And some people believe that snowbirds would probably support regionalization more
Would
so.
support it. Why is that? Now that surprises me. Why is that?
Taxes.
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 I knew there was an
There's
answer
always
somewhere.
death and taxes, Frank. Death and taxes.
Yep, I got you.
Yep.
Couple of real other quick questions, and I know you've got to go. Are we fully staffed in all the positions?
Most of our positions, I pause because most of our all our teaching positions are staffed. Yes. We have a special needs population that does have some paraeducators we still need to staff.
And any union contracts open? Negotiations going on?
No, none of the contracts are open this year, but our committee has already started. They put out an RFP already to seek legal consultation on future contract negotiations. In other words, having someone study the contracts and say, here are the things that I believe you as a committee, you as a community should focus on. That hasn't gone anywhere though, and I think there may be some discussion on putting out another RFP because I think there was only one respondent.
If you are in the building now, you need to be with an advisor.
Superintendent is just going extra time here.
Yep. And I was waiting for me to be Paige. Dr. Jermain, you're not at your bus duty. So,
we can
There you go. So that way we don't.
I just didn't want any names going across the intercom. So I went on mute. That's where we are right now.
Yeah, and the only other thing I would say is any events that you want to highlight before we end?
Tonight, come down to Rogers High School. Come to the beautiful new theater. Come hear the chorus and the band. They're amazing. And come down and see us. We're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to a happy, healthy 2026. And I wish that for both of you as well.
Oh, and you as well, Colleen. And I just a real quick note. My granddaughter goes to Lincoln High School, and they had their concert the other night. The kids blew me away, and we have such a rich band program in Rhode Island, and especially when you take a look at how our jazz bands do in the Berkeley competition. They're terrific. Even if you don't have a kid in school, go and see them.
I agree with you.
Mind-boggling how good they are.
I agree with you. It is amazing when you sit down and you hear them and you realize they're only 12 or they're 14 or at the high school level, 16, 17 years old. Yeah.
That's it.
So,
all right, Superintendent, get out to bus duty, and we will chat with you in January. We'll work on what that schedule looks like.
All right. Thank you very much, and I wish the best for both of you.
Great Christmas,
thank you.
And a wonderful New Year.
You too. Take care. 2026 is going to be a great year.
There you go. That is Colleen Burns, Jermain, Superintendent, Newport Public Schools, running off the bus duty. Everybody pitches in and she's been doing that for months. So that is I don't know, just something you never thought she would participate in every day. Well, I wouldn't expect that the superintendent would be out there for bus duty every day, but
if I were in that position, I would just delegate the job.
Yes. But all right. Well, a lot to pick apart there. I did see some comments come in while we were chatting, and I'll try to follow up on some of those. And a couple people interested in that she didn't attend the discussion regarding school regionalization.
That's really interesting. That she hasn't been involved in a series of discussions now, and I don't know, and I don't know what the situation is over in Middletown, whether superintendent has been involved there as well. But
yeah, we'll follow up on all of that for everybody.
Yep.
All right, Frank. Well, appreciate you joining, and wish you a very happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas and all the good holidays. And we will talk to you real soon.
Brian, have a great Christmas.
All right, and let me do this right. It has been a while. All right, on behalf of Frank Prosnitz, as well as myself, we want to thank Superintendent Colleen Jermain for joining us. If you missed any portion of this conversation, want to watch it again, want to share it, all available on whatsupnuke.com. Thanks for watching.